Hey guys, Sean from Next Step here. Today what I want to talk to you about is how to know whether or not a customer is actually interested in my product. I get the question a lot, and that's, what is a product manager responsible for? To me, the most important thing is staying close to the customer. It doesn't matter how effective your product development operation is running if at the end of the day, no one's buying your product. If customers aren't buying your product, you don't have a business. So what I'm going to talk to you about is how to know whether or not a customer is genuinely interested in your product. The first point I'll make is that talk is cheap. Be careful when receiving praise from a prospective customer and how much stock you put in it. At the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter as much what a customer is willing to say about your product, but instead what they're willing to do. At the end of the day, if they're unwilling to pay for access to your product, then chances are they're probably not that interested in it. What real interest looks like, on the other hand, is whether or not they show you the money. Ultimately, if a customer is willing to pay for access to your product, that's real validation that they're genuinely interested in it and gaining access to it. And that's realistically where you should put most of your stock. If a customer is not willing to just talk about how great your product is, but instead needs access to it and is willing to pay to gain access to it, that's what real traction looks like. And finally, going forward, when figuring out where to take your product from where it is today, follow the money. If you've got two features you're considering developing, which one is your customer ultimately willing to pay to gain access to? That should be tied closely with how you're running product development and how you're evolving your product. So at the end of the day, what matters most is not necessarily what a prospective customer is saying, but ultimately what they're doing in the form of being willing to pay to gain access to your product. If they're willing to open up their checkbook, that's real validation that they have genuine interest. If you want to learn more about effective product management, reach out to us at Next Step at hello@nextstep.io. Thanks for watching my video.